We've been talking about women who have been duped by the men they love, but now I want you to imagine being a woman living a double life, constantly looking over your shoulder, worrying that someone will discover your dark secret. Well, Karen knows this feeling all too well. She was teaching science to high school students by day and using whips and chains in a dungeon as a dominatrix at night. And she says she loved every minute of her double life. Please welcome Karen. Hello, how are you?
Hello.
Nice to meet you. Wow, you do not look the type.
I know, and that makes it even more fun.
Really? Okay. So what was your childhood like? Tell us, like, how did this come about?
I had a horrible childhood. I was abused as a child. The rage that was building up inside of me was pretty intense.
It stayed with you through the years until you were able to sort of turn that control and use it and get control in another way. Yes. So you became a teacher, having
I had
great
this
career.
Regular job, and I liked it. I had a high school diploma class, which means that I taught at an adult school. But the students weren't really adults. They were high school kids who had to make up credits, so they would come to the adult school.
So how did you come to find this world of the dominatrix world and stripping and all of that?
Well, when I was growing up, I did study ballet, so I did dance in front of an audience, and I really liked it. And then I also twirled some little things with the baton that were kind of, I was a little kid. I was only 10 or 11 years old. But one of the things I did this act with a baton and a hoop, and the music they used was the stripper. It's one of these classic bump and grind honky-tonk. And I was 10 or 11 years old. I wasn't even supposed to know what that was about, but I did, and I could sense what was going on. Oh, I loved it. I loved it because when I was up there with my baton, I knew what the heck I was doing, and I was in control. Power. Oh my God. How could I not? Oh yeah, I loved it.
But then you took it to the next level when you got older. What was that like for you with the first time you would strip? You were sort of in control. You all want to know, don't you?
Well, in the book that I wrote, I explained it. So I heard these ladies talk these dungeons and things, and I thought, what's that? And I thought, is it a theater? What are they? I could do that. What are they talking about?
So the first time you did that, did you get this thrill that you never expected?
Yeah. The thing that was fun, nudity's allowed, so I took my clothes off, and I was in a room alone with a man, and the way the business is set up, it sounds like it would be risky for women, oh, you're in a room alone, and they're what if he tries to do something to... Look, the way the business is set up, nothing's going to... And no man wants to get famous for causing a problem in a bondage parlor.
So you're saying the safest place for a girl to be is in a bondage parlor?
It's very safe, and really
Karen lived in constant fear of her being revealed, her secret. Up next, we'll meet one of her co-workers and find out what happened when her double life was exposed. Ooh, stay tuned. Coming up.
And she was telling me that she was interested in writing a book, and I'm a writer, so she wanted some advice. And she said, but it's very controversial. And I'm thinking to myself, what could this woman have that is so controversial?
We are back talking with Karen, who lived a double life, school teacher by day, dominatrix by night. Isn't that a movie? And she managed to keep her alter ego a secret. So you eventually, just recently, told one of your coworkers. Why did you feel the need to come clean?
I'd been thinking about it. Growing up with this abusive childhood, I realized that the job I had chose helped me recover from the abuse. And I thought reading stories about other women and how they recovered from childhood abuse helped me. And I thought, you know, I have a story to tell. There are women out there who might benefit from reading what I did too. And as odd as it may sound at first, you know, working in B&D helped me.
B&D, bondage
and discipline.
Okay, bondage and discipline.
Discipline, yeah, helped me. So I thought, you know, it might help somebody else to read my story. And then you're about to ask me what
No, I was going to introduce your coworker, Michael.
Yes.
Michael is here. Please welcome him to the show. Hi, Michael. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Okay, so she seems so straight-laced. Did you ever see this coming?
No, never. I mean, working with her, when she would come into work, she would look like she just rolled out of bed. T-shirt, sweatpants, and so I had no idea.
And so, okay, so what did you do when she came clean and told you this?
I was actually walking down the street when she called, and she was telling me that she was interested in writing a book, and I'm a writer. Some advice, and she said it's very controversial. And I'm thinking to myself, what could this woman have that is so controversial? Because I knew her for 10 years. And she said, I used to work in the sex industry, and I stopped walking down the street, and I was like, whoa, okay. I'm hard to shock, but she managed to do it.
And how, you know, were you worried about getting caught when you were teaching?
Yes. The one of the dungeons where I worked and one of the strip clubs was in the same neighborhood as the school where we met. And I was afraid, you know, one of my students would see me going in, like, this place.
So your motivation for writing this book, was to help other women?
I really thought I had a unique story to tell that might help other women, and also I was kind of annoyed at the misconceptions people have about B&D. They think it's this horrible taboo thing, and it doesn't need to be thought of that way because it's acting out fantasies. I'm not really having sex with anybody. It's acting out. Didn't any of you play Cowboys and Indians when you were a kid? So.
You think it's the same thing?
Well, there's a sexual there's a sexual contest, but I mean, we're all here as a result of sex. What is the big deal?
So can we talk about salaries? How much money can one make?
I reported everything to the IRS. Let's see, a lot more. I made more in 2 hours than I made all week at school.
So, okay, so the teaching career didn't pay as well as...
Oh, no. Oh, no. In fact, men pay a lot more not to have sex than they pay to have sex.
Really?
Oh, yes.
That is interesting.
Yes.
And I know your school, the people at the school did eventually find out about your double life.
They have found out.
Currently employed there?
Well, we were moved around recently, and the site where I am now doesn't have many teachers, and nobody really has said anything yet, but...
She's the talk of the teachers.
She is.
Oh, yes.
All right. Dominatrix, you've given up?
No, I haven't worked in a dungeon for about 6 years.
Why is that?
The last dungeon where I worked closed about 6 years ago, and at that point I thought, you know, I don't need to do this anymore. I don't need to play the part of Darlene. I'm a man in my life, and for 18 years I didn't try to have a relationship with anybody. I just wasn't in the right frame of mind, but so I'm looking for...
So it's been 6 years. Do you miss your career?
I was feeling drop-dead gorgeous, you know.
Like
you're
Miss
tied
America.
up, you can't touch me, you can just drool. And do it now, you know.
Oh, boy. Something tells me you were really good at your job. Thank you for being here. Your book is called Being Darlene.
Playing Darlene.
Oh, Playing Darlene. Playing Darlene. Thank you for correcting me. Thank you for being here. We'll be right back after this.